Good? Okay, so this episode reminds me of when I used to manage a restaurant on the beach. This little group comes in and this guy is wearing shorts, which is against our dress code policy. So I said, all right, here we go. I have to explain it to him. It's not going to go well. And he was upset. I get it. But then things took a turn for like the worse because he goes, oh, you're not letting us eat because I'm gay. And then what I thought immediately was, nobody gives a shit. This isn't Nigeria. This is Miami Beach. Nobody cares who you're attracted to. But for better or worse, what I ended up saying to the guy was, at first you couldn't eat here because you're violating our dress code. But now you can't eat here because you're an asshole. You got to go. I wish you the best. So I say this. If you can say yes to 3 things, you can eat at almost any restaurant in the world. Am I out to have a good time? Can I afford to pay for my experience? And can I follow the rules of the establishment I'm going to? That's it. Nobody cares about anything else. Today, still, unfortunately, I guarantee you that there's a restaurant or somewhere that's operated by some racist idiot. It's the truth. And should you encounter one of these places in the wild and you're denied entry to this place for whatever reason, remember that a place like that, I guarantee you their food sucks, their vibe sucks, their service is terrible. So they did you a favor. I say fuck them. Start it up, eh?
Welcome to the Fancy Bread Podcast, where we talk all things restaurants. I'm one of your hosts, Adrian.
I'm your other host, Ed.
And today we're talking about the LGBTQ plus community in the restaurant industry. And for that, we have brought these 2 lovely gentlemen over here, Will and Solomon, who will be giving us some insight or a viewpoint into their perspective as to the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. Gentlemen, as it is customary of the show, please give us a little bit of information about yourselves. How long you've been in the industry, where did you got into it, and where do you find yourselves now?
So I'm Will. I've been in the industry for, 17, 18 years, I believe. It's been a while, a long time. I came into the industry as a host at Cheesecake Factory, such a long time ago. And then I just worked my way up from there. I've been almost every position I could even think of. And yeah, that's really it.
I always find that funny. Like, when people are like, "Oh, I'm 22 and I've been doing this for 16 years." I'm like, how? Which I don't doubt, but I've always find that fascinating because I started doing this. I've been doing this for over 10 years, but I'm not into that like almost teenager amount of years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when people say that, like, how long you been doing this again?
Like 18 or more.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Wow.
What about you, mi bello?
Hey, how are you doing? My name is Solomon. I've been working in the industry for almost 20 years.
There you go, baby.
You see? And I'm almost 30.
You're such a baby. You're such a baby.
Anyway, I start to work for the Los Hotels. I was working, as a, like everyone in the lower position, I was doing as a busboy. And it was a great school for many years there because it is the Tish family, which is, they have a very good standards with all these corporate, the hotels. And then that's where I started. I mean, in most of the positions, and I still love working in the industry. I really do.
What are you currently serving?
I'm currently serving at the moment.
I do the same. Yes, I'm
very well. So both current service.
I was used to do manager and all the stuff, but we're talking about dineros here, so
yeah, we go there handcuffs. We spoke about that.
Being a server is much better than being.
It's an interesting point that no matter where you go in, it's going to be a difference in upbringing. But whether it is something very corporate like the Cheesecake Factory or in my case, Chili's, those are great places for you to start. Those are the school, as we call them. Yeah. But when you go into a very successful establishment like the Lowe's, because I've heard about the way that they treat their guests, and people are very happy with it. That it's very great. So you can start almost anywhere and just build yourself up as long as you understand that you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't start anywhere that's more casual. When my first restaurant job, I started as a busser and a food runner at like a very good restaurant. So maybe that's why I have less patience for people. Maybe that's why I'm a little less sweet than most people. Because I don't care. Like, as advanced as my culinary life can become, I love like simple things like a Big Mac, or I'll never get rid of that love for those things. So I don't think this comes from a lack of humility. I just think that hearing it across the board, I don't have those sort of casual upbringings. Maybe that's why I have less patience for shit.
Gentlemen, since you're members of the community, I want to ask, how often or how common is it for you to see other members of the community working in the restaurant industry? because I've been trying to find some numbers, and every time I bring stats to the show, it's very difficult for them to be completely accurate because there's nothing that, as you're working in the industry, they give you something to fill up and you say, this is what I do and this is how much I make and this is my preference in this or that. So the stats there are just, they're all assumptions. They're not completely factual. But in your personal experience here in Miami, would you say that there's a lot of members of the community working alongside of you?
Absolutely. I feel like there's a lot. In the places I've been in the past, definitely a lot more. I'm originally from Texas, and I would say, like, compared to there to here, I definitely see more family within the restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you
I
feel?
think it's the same thing I can tell you. I think it's, in the restaurants, I mean, working, I think most like a 60, like a, I mean, probably half of the the employees are most like 30%, 40% there and there.
Really?
But which is
Family.
it? Which is it?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it 60 or 30?
No,
It's a good amount.
The restaurant I'm trying to think of the ones that I worked before. But it's a bit crowded. I mean, we have a lot of family.
Really?
working.
Yeah.
So first off, family, as you mentioned it, is that that's a term that I've never heard of. So is that something common that being in the
Yes.
community you might call it as?
Yes.
Okay.
We're family. We just met today, but this is my family.
Okay. That's
Go
cool.
family, yeah.
That's interesting because I mean, when in the industry, we call everybody brother. I saw you today. I'm like, what's up, brother? Like it's when we work alongside together, we consider ourselves family. But I guess your term of family is a little bit different. It's something that I've never heard before. And you do mention that there's plenty of people in the industry. Personally, I didn't notice.
Oh, yeah.
Like
How you don't
because
notice?
the numbers say, there's a lot, there's over representation is what it says online, and I'm like, I didn't notice.
Right, but like,
But the question I
openly
wanted,
gay though.
but no, my question was gonna be
Openly gay.
because perhaps my gaydar is not as attuned.
zero.
And I want to ask, is that a thing?
I feel like it definitely is. I mean, well, me being a gay person, clearly, I definitely have it. There's times where I see people where I'm like, oh, like, you haven't told me you're gay, but in my head, I know. I just know. And
Okay.
then later on, I'll find out or something like that. But some people just, I feel like sometimes they don't feel comfortable being themselves, or they haven't came across the right work family to open up, or you don't know about their family, like real, actual family. So many factors.
Well, there's factors also. They've been working with another coworkers. They don't want to find out if he's gay or not gay. That's another
Okay.
thing. It's kind of hard.
So what's your experience working with somebody who you can tell is gay, but they don't want to be open and honest?
Oh my God! What
Do you ever aid in making the environment more comfortable for those people?
Yeah, you always. I mean, I'm very open. I'm trying to be very friendly.
open.
Too open sometimes. Yeah, you're right.
No,
But anyway,
we love
you. You are yourself.
Try
We
to
love
be
you.
and try to be. To welcome the people. But it's people that just has rejection and they don't want to open themselves. So, frustrated. Yeah.
Frustrados.
Wow.
I wanted to talk about lesbians.
Yeah. Please. We need to talk about these ones.
So in my experience, I can count on my hand how many openly gay or openly lesbian, whatever the fuck term is, women I've worked with. Where the hell are all the lesbians in the restaurant industry? Where are they?
Ooh, I don't know if they're
They're
in the
bisexuals,
restaurant.
mi amor. They're bisexual.
I mean,
now.
maybe that could be an option too, whatever they identify as. But sometimes I feel like, and this isn't to put like a stereotype over like all lesbians or this or that, but I just feel like I don't feel like they're like that. The industry is for them. I feel like they
They
do
don't like working
other
in the
things.
industry?
Yeah, I feel like they do other things for some reason. And this is, I don't know why. Like I
It's not
just
the avenue
honestly
for them.
me, I haven't really come across.
Yeah,
a
when's the
lot.
last time you worked with an openly gay lesbian woman?
I've only had one.
Where the hell are they, dude?
No.
I mean, that I know that she has openly said so.
Yeah.
'Cause
Right,
again,
I'm
my
talking about
gaydar is
open, like
terrible.
like open. That'd be fantastic because you get the best of both worlds there. As a straight man, you got someone whose breath doesn't stink, takes care of themselves, but you could talk about girls on the floor. That sounds like a win-win to me.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are they?
I have no idea. On the poor stats that I could find, obviously we got around the number of 14 million to 15 million people that work in the restaurant industry. It says that about 8% are openly or considered gay. But then again, we spoke about how these numbers are always skewed because it's not like they go around and asking you, are you?
Yeah.
And then they check mark it. So how do they know? I have no idea. And I thought that based off what you're mentioning, those numbers don't make any sense. And again, it like he mentioned, it's obviously the different types of the members of the community or the family, that the ones that you perhaps see the most on the restaurant industry are usually gay men.
Yeah.
Because I very rarely see transgender or a lot of lesbians. It's very hard to, or I mean, not common for you to see those unless you go to a particular place that it's specifically made for like a queer bar or stuff like that.
I think because we are very, I mean, I'm going to put it in perspective like that. We are very friendly. We're very open. So we're like that. That's why invite us to work in the industry and the hospitality, because we're, I mean, you see in flight attendants and, you know, in restaurant, is we're kind of happy people.
I would say in my experience that gay members of the community are very hospitable.
Yeah.
You know, they tend to be people that take care of others, very nurturing, very caring, very hospitable.
Very, yes, respectful.
Absolutely. I feel like it's a different, not trying to like bash anybody or anything
Bash.
like that. No,
Bash.
but I feel like there's been times where I've had tables tell me like, oh my God, we come here all the time and this is just a different type of service. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm just literally being me.
Yeah.
But it's a difference in, let's say you take a table and me take a table. I don't hide my personality, not saying you do or anything, but like I'm just very out there, very open. I'm gonna say what's on my mind. And I feel like they eat that up. Like they love that.
Yeah.
And let's bring it into that. Let's talk about serving tables, right? Because you said that you are very open and honest, and you just, you know, let your personality take it. I say like I switched roles. Like, you know, like an actor. Like I have certain tables that I know, oh, this table needs me to be a little bit more friendly. This table needs me to be a bit more professional, et cetera, et cetera. And I even change kind of like the tones of how I speak or how I stand or my mannerism. I change it accordingly based on the experience that I want to provide each table, right? But that's me. I mean, is that something that you personally do? Are there tables where you go and say hello, and at tables where you say hello?
Exactly,
like, do you?
It's the
talk
vision
to me.
when you see the guest, or you know that you read the person, so you know how you're gonna have, you know how you have to treat that guest. You
Correct.
know it's different. I work in working in different restaurants, but the restaurant that I'm working right now, it's all these clients of guests, however you want to call it. And since you see the table sitting down, you know how they're going to be. If they're going to be difficult, or they're going to be nice, or they're going to be super friendly, gay, whatever. I mean, you notice even before you approach.
That's funny.
the
I never
table.
thought about. That's another
It's
parameter.
true.
It's like you gauge a. It's called gauging a
Yeah,
table.
you know this before.
I gauge a table. I'm looking at.
How do you
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Coño. You gauge a table. I'm looking at a watch. I'm looking at body language. I'm looking at clothes. I'm looking at if the dude's a gentleman. I'm looking at if the woman seems a little high maintenance. But
You know everything.
you have to do all of that. But you also have to say to yourself, how gay am I going to be with this table? Am I going to be like,
Yeah,
come on, baby,
whoever.
am I going to do that conga? Or am I going to be like, you know, a little less?
Yeah.
That's interesting though. That's another tool you can
Yeah.
use. That's another tool.
Would you
know?
say that gay friendliness that you have, that warmth, has helped you make more money?
For me, absolutely.
Damn
Like,
it.
Absolutely. Just because
jealous.
I feel like, I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm a very open person. So I even have tables asking me like personal things, which I don't mind. If I don't want to answer, of course I won't answer.
Right,
but
of course.
to me in my head, if a table is like really asking me these questions, they're like trying to engage and get to know me more. And a lot of people don't do that. So they're like actually taking their time out of the day or their experience to get to know me more. And then in the long run, I'm making way more than 20%, and then they're asking me for again in the next experience.
At the end of the day, it's all about money.
It's all about
But
money.
I
I
mean,
have bills.
you
It's all
also
about
have
money.
that interesting look that you got, and people are like, "Who is this guy?" Who's this?
Absolutely.
You know?
But also, I don't know. When people look at me that way, I just
You can feel the vibe. Or,
yeah, you can feel the vibe, and I just let it go, and then I'll just like keep doing what I'm doing. But let's say I come back up again, and it's still the same vibe. I'm like, I might not bring my service down, but I'm like, I'm not gonna be 1,000%, 100% with you. Like the same as if like somebody's having a business meeting. You're not gonna be like all
Asking
over
them.
at the table all the time because they have papers everywhere and all this. You're not gonna be doing all that.
What about you, Solomon? Do you feel
No,
like
no,
do you
no,
feel like you
because
take
I feel like
advantage?
I wanna talk
You take
to-
advantage
yeah,
of that
I think
vibe and
I
make
tried,
money out of it?
Definitely I do more money, but at the same time I just had an experience. I think it was a year ago when I was just greeting the table, turned around. I was putting, the verbiage in the system, and my manager came to me and said, "We're gonna have to switch the server." I was like, "What?" Because he think that you give it attitude. I was, "What? I didn't give any attitude." So he switched servers, gave it to another. And at the end of the shift, the manager told me they want to switch with me because I was gay.
We want to go into that
Okay,
as well.
okay,
No,
yeah.
that's a
So that
perfect
was- I
segue
was
because
like,
of that.
wow.
I was going to ask, like, have you had that issue where people say, "I would like a different server"? Is that something that
I feel
has
like
happened to you?
I feel like it's maybe when I was younger. Now, not so much. But when I was younger, I feel like definitely. Because also, I mean, I wasn't this tame. Back then, I was like, I'm in the streets.
This is me,
I'm
take it or
drinking.
leave
This
it.
is me, take it or leave it.
Got it.
Here's your check, you can go.
Okay.
But probably, I'm pretty sure it has happened to me. But it was so long ago, I can't even remember how I felt. And also, like, I don't even want to remember how I felt because clearly I wasn't supposed to take care of you. So.
Of course.
Wasn't meant to be.
And like,
Yeah,
it's
wasn't
like
meant
you
to
mentioned
be.
someone, it has something that it has happened to you. But I want to take it back into money. Because the two of you said, yes, I make more money with it. Would you say that you make more money than your straight coworker counterparts?
I would say 100% yes, I can answer that.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% yes.
All right.
You motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because we had an episode with two females where we asked them, do women make more money? And statistically, women make more money in the industry than men because men tip more and thus they
And then,
tip
yeah,
more.
exactly.
So would you say that your biggest tips, in your case, who are your biggest tippers? Are men, women? Is it family that tip you more?
I would say everyone. But more percent, I would say man.
Yeah?
Man is the ones that tip much
Head to
more.
here.
I would say men. I can honestly agree with that because I feel like sometimes it's ladies, like a whole group of ladies. Then yeah, I'm gonna make some money from them. But let's say a man and a woman, like if I don't know, sometimes the women like they could be insecure, and you just never know. Like I get more attitude from the women sometimes than the men, and they think you're like trying to come steal their man. I'm like, girl, I do not.
What
want
did I
him.
say?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
What did I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the truth. Like
No, they really do.
We have
They
female
really
coworkers.
think it like
We have female coworkers that say that at this point in their career, they don't like if they're taking care of a two-top,
they're
man
couple.
and woman, they won't talk as much to the man because they don't want the woman feeling like she's trying to flirt with the guy.
Absolutely. And I
corny,
do
which is corny.
the same thing almost in a way where I pay more attention to the woman. But if she's not feeling it, I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to the guy. But also, like, I don't want your man.
what is your favorite table and what is your least favorite table to serve? Like, do you prefer
My
couples?
favorite table is that a 6 gentleman, 6 top man. That's my favorite table.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you go about it?
Straight guys, topic was more because they spend money, they drink, and they go tippers. The worst, can I say the worst table?
Of course.
Go ahead. That's what we're here for.
Sorry, lesbians. I have the worst experience in my life. I swear, since I've been working
That's
20
the black
years.
sheep of your family?
No, but you see, I've been working 20 years in this industry.
They're first
and
in they're first in the acronym,
the
so they
three
think they're
times,
better than
the
us.
only 3 times I have a very bad issue and problems is with 3 couples of lesbians.
How so? How'd it go?
I
Why?
don't know because they don't. I don't know if they were not happy with some, with family.
Yeah.
So they get like I don't know if they. No, I don't want to say jealous, but they were like a kind of buried the man. And it was. I remember I was working in this Mexican restaurant a long time ago. The place to do guacamole.
Yeah.
You remember?
Okay. Yeah, I do.
And they were super. They were. I can remember they were super nasty ladies. I don't know how to call it ladies or what, but they were. That's I would say is my worst experience in my personal opinion. Working in the industry is being with
He's waiting on lesbians.
family.
I'm waiting on lesbians. Oh my God.
What about you? What's your favorite and least favorite?
I would say definitely my favorite is I could agree
Yeah.
6 top, 4 top, gentlemen in general because like I'm not saying every man is gonna be drinking, but they're gonna drink more. I feel like they're gonna spend more if you're on top of them and you take care of them, baby. They're taking care of you. I would say worst. Sometimes I would have to say like I wouldn't say lesbian. I would just say like bachelorette parties or like something like that just because I've worked in places before with brunches where they show up with a bachelorette party, it's bottomless mimosas, people are throwing up in the bathrooms, they're hitting no tip, and like it's just something just so problematic, and I'm like I don't have time for that.
Dude, I get a 2 top of guys who say to me, "We had a big lunch. We're not that hungry.
Why are you here?
Eat a porterhouse, 2 bottles of wine, desserts,
Wow,
after dinner drinks,
that's awesome.
and then I'll
Wow.
have a 4-top of women say, "Oh, we're starving.
And they just got one appetizer.
One fillet, and asparagus, and some mushrooms." And 3 glasses of wine because one of them isn't drinking because she's the designated driver type shit, right? Come on, man. It's across the board. Like I said, we're across the board. We're just keeping it real.
Yeah.
We're just keeping it real. If you see a 4-top of dudes and they're out to have a good time, they're gonna spend some money. They're gonna drink more.
And another thing, why do people have to tell you, give you a heads up, like, we're not hungry, or why they give you that, why they say that? When you approach the table, say, we're not too hungry, or we're going to...
I guess it's just don't hurt me too much. Don't
Exactly,
judge me
don't
too
take me
much.
out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, take my money.
take it easy. So, would you say that it is common or necessary for members of the community to help each other out? Where I'm from in Puerto Rico, something that people always say is that if you are in a position of power and you are of the community and you see someone else, it's important that you bring that person up as well, right? And not like in some cases where people are always like trying to cut you in the bag and gain power from that. Would you say that that is common in the family, or would you say that it's not? Like if you say, like if right now where you're working, another gay or member of the community comes in, would you feel like you want to lift them up, or is it like,
Is there animosity, or do
no.
you generally help each other?
Never any animosity on my end. I'm a person like, I just met you. I don't know anything about you. I'm really big on first impressions. So if you come in and you're like, hey, whatever, like we're kikiing, we're having fun, I'm getting to know you. Yes, of course. If I'm in that position of power, I'm going to nurture you, take you under my wing. But if you're not open and accepting to that, like I'm not going to put forth all that effort if you're not here for it.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter how you identify. It just matters if you're an asshole or not.
That part for me, and I know we were talking about family earlier. I feel like the reason why we always say family, I don't know if you can say anything to this, but being in the community, we've been through so much stuff. And at one point, we didn't have our families, or like if you came out, you didn't talk to your family. So you had to build your own family. That's why we're family. Like this is my sis, my brother right here.
there you go.
And it's good when somebody comes and you for the team or wherever you will help him to bring it out. But as I say, we have to be also careful. Sometimes they abuse of you, or they just want to go on top of you, and this is, and then all the guys. I'm not just talking about the LGTB everywhere. It's like we want to try to help to put the service level or whatever the training that we do. But sometimes, just to be careful, and you don't need to cross that line with the people.
I mentioned it also too because there's this great bit of Key and Peele. I don't know if you know the two famous comedians that make sketches, and there's one where one of them plays the president and is saying hello to a bunch of people, and it's just like, oh, this white lady, and he gives her a hand, and this other gentleman, and he gives him the hand, and there's a black guy, and he's like, you're my man, and gives him a big hug. and then somebody else tries to come for a hug. It's like, no, back away. It's like, hey, nice to meet you. And there's another black person, and it's like, ooh, my brother. So. Is there that kind of brotherhood in the community, or is not necessarily like like you see one coming to work and you'd be like, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, I see you.
Yeah. I mean, it's always
Your
gonna be there for
Spidey
me.
sense tingles
Yeah,
and
I'm
you're
like,
like,
oh, I see you. Yeah. But also sometimes I feel like it could be a new gay person that could walk in to wherever, and I'm like, okay, I can immediately tell, like, we're going to get along, or like, hey, like, we might not mesh in the beginning, but maybe I just got to get to know you or something like that.
But it's like I say, I think that has a lot less to do with their sexuality and more to do with just who they are as people.
Absolutely.
Because you could be gay but be an asshole, and you could be gay and be wonderful.
What about customers of the LGBTQ community?
You missed like 4
Can
letters.
they be-
I would say
Can they be the easiest, the most demanding, difficult?
I would say.
How are they towards
their guy-
you? Like,
with me,
because
they're-
but the point is that obviously they can be themselves, but when they see you serving them, do they treat you better? Do they treat you worse?
They treat you better. I
Yeah?
think they will treat you better. They treat you better, and
All right.
they know because you're talking the same language. Let's put it out this.
What language is that?
No more, you know. The
language of
somebody's gay, you know, it's gay. So that's the language.
We asked because we want to know.
No, they, you know when somebody, you know, is the same family. And I mean, most of the tables and where I work, they know that I'm gay. Probably I don't look gay. But they know that I'm gay. So, you know, and this is the way that I am with every single table. But yes, I will say the family of the LGBT community, they will, it's like I say, I have a problem with
Lesbians.
But
said
it
it
doesn't mind that with these gay people, they're really nice.
You're
and
not
they will
saying
take
you're not
care of
saying you dislike lesbians.
No,
You're
but
saying that
I
as
have-
restaurant guests,
Correct.
they tend to be
Listen,
more
as
difficult
a
for you
family,
to
we all have our favorites.
That part.
right?
I would say as far as for me, I feel like it's hit or miss. Just I've had tables where I walk up to them, their family, and they're like, we're laughing like we've known each other forever or something, or like it's like one or two words.
And that's it.
Or that's it. But also it's so many factors that goes into that. Like, I don't know, or it's a two-top and it's two guys. Are they beefing? Are they just out here in public for no reason, like mad at each other and like giving everybody else attitude? Like, are they insecure and think you're trying to get with their man? Like, it's so many things that go on to that. And I'm like, girl, I have 7 other tables. I do not have time to worry about your man.
Wow. Have you been in that situation, approached or hit on by one of them?
Absolutely.
Like, how often do you get hit on
He almost
by members of the community?
His response was like,
would you say?
Will's response was like, "Bitch, of course."
What are you talking about? Look at me.
Would you say that because statistically, and as a lot of people know and say that gays can be a lot more promiscuous, right? And would you say that you have been approached a lot more because of that in the industry? Then because I mean I tend to be approached by some ladies and sometimes by men too, and I'm like, no, sorry, I don't play that. I don't play that game. I don't play that game. But would you say that that's something that you get a lot more? Is it very common?
I've had multiple situations where, oh my gosh. Okay, so I've had where it's 2 husbands and they've asked to take me home. I was their server.
Oh my God.
I've actually did it.
I was gonna say
that was a great time.
You did it.
I did it, absolutely.
It's amazing.
I've had it where 2 people have had their husband and wife had their bachelor party in the restaurant at different times. The husband gave me his number. We went out to space and we ended up hooking up, and the lady walked in on us. So I've had that situation happen before.
Wow.
I've had guys put their hands up my apron at the table, like just trying to fill me up or grab my ass when I walk away. I don't know.
Sounds like an involved serving lifestyle.
Sounds like your service goes deep.
I think it happens to me actually when I was working in that hotel. He gave me his room number, and as employee, I was not supposed to go to the room.
Yeah, of course.
My amor, you don't know what I did.
What did you do?
Because I took the the employee elevators. I went to the
do you
floor.
go?
I walked in the hallway.
Dun, dun,
See, nobody was looking at me.
So what I would like to hear is what I would have liked to hear before all of that was he
Okay.
gave you his room number.
Correct.
Did you go to his room?
Correct.
You did?
I did. I did.
Now
was to
I
be
wanna hear
very
the journey.
I was to be very precocious because as employee, you cannot be walking around from in the guest floors.
So you did some
So
like
I
James
did,
Bond shit.
Exactly. I was like this, walking, checking it outside of the elevator, and the employee's elevator.
Yeah.
So I had to go, to the kind of the laundry room, whatever. And
you
I
know
have fun. And then I
course you
think,
did.
and then when
Sounds
I
like a
leave,
fun time. A memorable experience.
No, and then I was going to tell you the problem is when I leave. Because, as an employee, I have to, oh my God, go again in the employees' elevators. And it was supposed to be my shift over, no? So I was just trying to walk as soon as I can get out of the hotel so nobody can see me.
That's like the staff walk of shame.
Yeah,
it's like,
correct.
It's like
It was
everybody
like that.
knows. You're like, your shift ended.
Why are you still
5
here?
hours to
What are you
go.
doing here?
Damn. Yeah. Having a good time.
I know.
I know. Mission
But hey,
imposible.
listen.
Mission
But hey,
Impossible.
respect, because you could say that your experience, your service was above and beyond.
Yeah.
All right?
Wow.
Because then after
Wow.
that,
Yeah.
you had an
Because
intimate,
you definitely made a very intimate,
I finished a great
personable,
experience for the guests.
you know?
I did.
You went all out. That guy left a great review for the establishment. I will definitely come back to this hotel. All right.
gosh.
Now, speaking about things that you can or can't do, or things that the places that you work can do for you, has there been an instance where a place that you worked has done something to make you feel more included, or perhaps something to feel you excluded?
I would say more included. I've had a restaurant in the past that was trying to include the entire community and just came to me as an effort to see like, hey, what can we do? Blah, blah, blah. They actually like introduced a whole like new drag brunch to the restaurant, and it's like to this day still so successful. So I thought that was like an amazing thing, and it was like in an area where you would not think a drag brunch would be.
Is this place in Miami?
This is a place in Dallas.
Oh, in Dallas. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens to me too. When I was working in this Mexican restaurant, one of the managers, general manager, she approached me to talk about this, and we can do like a, margarita night. And we started doing it. It was doing very successful. It was in South Beach.
Yeah.
So I think they always try to bring it in. Not to exclude it. They're really.
You ever been to a drag brunch?
I haven't.
You never been to this one in the Our House?
The Our House.
Our House. And,
Our House and Palace.
Are we saying that?
Yeah, of course we can give him a shout out. Why not?
I love Our House.
No, it's fine. Listen,
Yeah.
There's that. Let's bring it into that.
have you ever been to a drag brunch?
No.
I went
You
to the
never-
drag brunch at our house.
Yeah.
It's fucking
I'm
amazing.
telling you.
It's really good, right?
Dude, a stripper had his motherfucking balls in my face.
Absolutely.
And all I was thinking was like, yo, these potatoes, this French toast is delicious. I don't give a shit about none of that.
No.
And you know, they always weekend. Sorry to interrupt you. Every
No, you
weekend
better
is-
be sorry.
Every weekend is sold out. Don't give me attitude.
Yo.
Every weekend is sold out.
You know how many
Yeah.
people I've sent to our house?
No.
And I'm like, listen, it used to be like, oh, Sunday is for this. But now I'm like, yo, and if I see the vibe, if I see like a really fun, like little gay group, or, I'm not, I don't mind lesbians like you do. You know what I mean? Like if I see they're having a good time, I'm like, yo, listen, if you haven't made plans for Sunday, you're from out of town, make a reservation at our
Saturday
bachelor-
and Sundays.
and bachelor
Saturday and
parties,
Sunday.
too.
They have it both days. Saturday and Sundays. No.
No, it's
I know
good.
that. I was just making sure you knew.
Okay.
And they're busy.
And bachelorette parties too. Those are great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my bachelorette's, whatever.
Birthdays, all that stuff. That's pretty good. So, what are some of those favorite places that you would like to recommend someone to go here in Miami? What are some very gay-friendly options or family-friendly options?
I mean, I feel like besides Our House, like traditional Our House, Palace, I feel like honestly, like, but even though they're separate and it's like, yeah, we know this is a gay establishment, I feel like there are a bunch of like, even just straight, I won't even say straight, just regular establishments that are very welcoming.
Who don't give a fuck.
This is
Who don't
Miami,
give a
bro.
fuck.
It's
Oh, it's
nobody
Miami.
gives a fuck.
I feel like that question is almost a little bit pale, like boring to answer, because it's like you out in
Everyone's-
Miami, you're gay. Where can I go? Where can't you go?
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Right?
I would say the only thing is, and this is still a part of the industry, is like, for instance, like going to Wynwood, to the clubs and stuff. Like there was a big issue with the gays where the dress code, where a woman could be wearing this and a gay guy could have the same thing on, like a tank top or something. They weren't letting you in. So like situations like that, I feel like it's more like critical. But as far as like restaurants, I don't really have an issue. And also, bitch, I'm welcome wherever I am.
Right,
You don't have to
exactly.
tell me.
It's like I said, you paying money and you having a good time, you're welcome. That's all it is.
Now,
Go ahead, continue. We will.
staying on the topic of fashion, as you know, the members of the community tend to be very fashionable. How do you feel about you slightly mentioned about sometimes you don't get allowed to go in somewhere based on what you're wearing, right? In most cases, restaurants, the one thing that they don't tend to allow is shorts for men. And honestly, that's kind of like a way of saying, if you don't have it in you to put some pants on, then you probably don't have it in you to, pay for a nice meal, right? For themselves, and also that's kind of like the way for them to legally discriminate, right? But fashion, it's very different, especially in the community. You tend to wear a lot of things that, like females, it's allowed because it's considered fashion.
Yeah.
Like you can see women wearing like the smallest things in restaurants, the
And they
most
can
see-through
go-
things.
they can go
and they're
in.
like, yeah, but because women.
I've never liked that double standard.
It's like, nah, it's a
it.
double standard. That's
Correct.
But how do you feel about that? Is that double standard there?
I definitely feel like it's there. And I feel like it's like a dated concept. Like I feel like over the past few years, we've been in this big evolution of like openness and accepting and everything. And I feel like everything's not going to happen all at once. Like it takes time, but these are
course.
some things that needs to be discussed because it's time for those to change. It's not going to work in the old world. We're in a new world now. Like we got to switch it up.
A lot of
And I
people
feel
still
like
living in the past, though.
they are living in the past. And like, baby, it's 2023. People identify as whatever they want to identify, and
Yeah.
you need to accept it. And even if you don't worry about it. It has nothing to do with you. But I do feel like the dress codes and stuff, it needs to change. But also, there's people who like, hey, I own my business. This is my place, and I'm going to do what I want to do. Look, and I respect that, but I just won't be in there.
Right? You lost a lot of business.
And like when you said we started the conversation, you say the 3 yes, one of the dress code, and I mean you have to accept how you're gonna dress to go to a restaurant. It's understanding that the girls want to wear the mini skirts, but sometimes, and I love my family, I love who we are, but we have to be a little bit more. We cannot be wearing like mini shorts and just put it the whole
Yeah.
Because it's the dress code also is the code for a restaurant. So I think that's kind of also respect the dress
Well, the
code.
thing is that restaurants have a vibe that they want to create, and it's important that
You follow the rules.
that we enforce that. Because if you go to a place, as I say, listen, we want you to be able to come here and suit it up, and put on your nice gown and feel like you're, living a movie in the era of Miami or in the old times of Miami. Then you want to be able to do that and sit down and not be next to someone wearing, like
Booty shorts. Yeah.
it is what it is. We're trying to create a vibe here. Some restaurants will allow it; they will bend, but it's not. So if you're gonna go out, make sure to check out what's the dress
Yes.
code. That's something I do. I say,
follow
do
rules.
they allow shorts? No, perfect. I'm gonna put my pants
Follow
on.
rules.
Do they allow shorts? I'm gonna wear nice shorts.
Yeah.
But
it still boggles my mind how today you can have a restaurant and people will show up. A grown man will show up wearing shorts.
Oh, absolutely.
Where
for
do
dinner,
you go out to eat for dinner
Yeah.
wearing shorts?
Chili's.
Right? I don't get it. You're gonna go to a nice
we're
restaurant.
talking about a nice.
You're gonna go to a
upscale
nice restaurant.
dining
dress a
establishment.
nice
you have
pants or
shorts
nice,
on.
even a nice jeans.
You're gonna go to a nice restaurant. The fucking restaurant could be at the end of a pier on a beach. Dressed appropriately.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
it. If you're a dude, I get the double standards, but I don't want to see a guy's feet. When I don't want to see
No.
dude's feet when it's
Oh,
time to
wearing
dinner.
that flip flops, terrible.
flip flop wearing
No.
chocolatas and shit. I don't want to see that. You shouldn't wear shorts. And the fact that we're still talking about this boggles my fucking mind.
Absolutely.
Boggles my mind. It's just like you said. It's 2023. Restaurants aren't a new concept.
No.
If you don't know that by nature you shouldn't be wearing shorts to go out to a restaurant, I don't
go.
know where you're
Well,
from.
speaking about 2023 and things that still boggles your mind, there's 22 states in the United States that you can be legally married in the morning and in the evening be thrown out of a restaurant. There are 22 states that legally can decline service.
To who? To a gay? To a gay community?
Same-sex couples. Well, yeah.
Why?
The thing
because
is, yeah.
yeah,
Why?
because there's no like federal law still in place
Yeah.
to protect those things from happening. It's like you said,
I'm sure one of these
ridiculous.
states is Texas.
2023.
Ah, girl, don't talk about me. I'm right here. That's why I left, honestly.
I was going to tell you that.
But it's boggling, and that's something that
That's really-
is currently hopefully being worked, and that's one of the things that the LGBTQ plus community is working hard on, so that everybody has the right to be of service. However, the one caveat that has been the hardest thing to do is that, especially as long as it is because of religious reasons, that they can be they can say that they cannot serve you.
Which is dumb.
Totally.
It's dumb.
I mean,
I don't care who you pray to or how many sculptures you got in your house. What's that got to do with how delicious your food is? It's like one thing has nothing to do with the other. Like some things should be
It's just
secular.
not making it.
Something should be secular. Like,
It is true,
but
but-
unfortunately, the LGBTQ plus thing is something that is still going through it. because there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of states where there aren't a lot of rules, a lot of laws protecting same-sex or community-based things.
And at the same time, look,
Absolutely.
And if you want to talk about outside of the United States, which is why I mentioned Nigeria. I didn't mention Nigeria just to say the word Nigeria.
Because
Dude,
they
you can
have
get
a-
murdered in Nigeria. It's illegal. Like for real. And in the Middle East,
the Middle East,
forget it.
Dubai.
thing.
Dubai is one of the power.
Yeah.
It's the most. They don't allow you to walk with hanging hands in the
Can't even do
street.
anything.
You go to jail, puppy.
I would hold your hand and do
I
it.
will, my amor.
I would hold your hand and do
I didn't drink water.
it. I would hold your hand and do it.
It is
interesting.
something that when I was researching this map, I was like, what? Seriously? Like in 2023?
Yeah.
Is this a thing? How is it?
Yeah.
How? So, but
You would think the U.S. is good.
yeah.
And other places,
Like
it
we're the
might be
beacon of hope
We're
for
not.
everybody.
We're
Like the
not.
land. I mean,
Yeah.
it says
We're
the land
not.
of the free and the home of the
Yeah.
brave. You know, it's like,
That's a lie.
and you're like, but parentheses, asterisk.
There's a lot of people out there that, are just like frustrated. There's a lot of people out there that, they only fuck their partner's missionary because like they're just bored. They're bigots. They're losers. And like the point I was gonna make when I first started the show with the pet peeve is if you go somewhere that they don't let you in because of something they disagree on a personal level, right? Fuck that restaurant.
Absolutely.
You walk back.
You don't deserve my
Like
money.
I said, you need passion to make good food, and people who think that way, like I said, those are the people who are sexually frustrated. There's no passion in their relationships.
And they don't deserve our money,
They
or
don't
then
deserve
they
our-
the
they don't
money of
deserve
nobody,
bro.
bro.
Like it's really that simple.
No, but also those people, which in my experience, I've learned the most problematic people are dealing with things themselves and they are going through it because they are probably gay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're probably gay. They're sexually frustrated and angry because they have their own circumstances. They can't come out and be honest with themselves. So they project anger and animosity and insecurity onto other people. That doesn't work with just homosexuality. That works with a lot of
Yeah,
things.
it's everything.
That works
A lot
across the board. Listen, like I said, when I was at our house, I mean, I have the good fortune and the good grace to realize that I grew up in a house that we were super open-minded. Like you couldn't grow up in my house and be homophobic.
Yeah.
Because you would die because the jokes and just the open-mindedness. And I feel fortunate because if you grow up in a house that's racist, it doesn't mean you're going to be racist, but you do have an uphill battle.
You do.
To accepting other people. So luckily I grew up in a house where we were super open-minded and everything was lovely. It's like I said, I was in our house and everybody I was with was like, "Oh, you're going to be okay?" I'm like, "Why are you worried about me? Like, is the food good?"
Okay.
They were like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
they
we
serve
have a
family
good
style."
time.
I said, "Listen, bring the drinks, bring the French toast with the little berries. And I
I'm
don't care.
good.
I don't care what's going on here. Like, let's have a good time." But that's me. That's
Yeah.
me, But a lot of people don't think that way.
I've been at our house before with friends and a friend brought her boyfriend. And it
It's
was
a
not
lot.
a good
It's a
experience.
lot.
He did
Of,
not-
I
he
mean,
didn't have a
it's
good
a
time?
lot.
Oh, he left. Didn't even get his food. He left. He was so
No way.
uncomfortable. Like it was so awkward to the point where I was like, "Why did you even come?"
Exactly.
Like
Why
also
you
do
take-
your
give me a-
research of where you're going.
Yeah,
like,
give me a
and
heads
this
up
is
where
a
you're
good
gonna
place.
take
Do your
it.
research.
About where you go
Do
to
your
eat
research.
is a big issue.
Yes.
Big issue. Adrian and I talk about it all the time. Like, that's like people will come to a restaurant that's like a party restaurant. There's a lot of party restaurants in Miami. And then they'll get upset because the volume's too loud because they wanted to talk to each other and have a business meeting.
don't come
I'm
here.
like, where the fuck do you think
you
you
at?
are?
Yeah.
We're going to turn the music down because you're trying to have a business meeting? Go have lunch somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is not the place for you. That's it.
Can you put the volume down, please? Because we cannot
Yeah.
get.
I'm like,
Especially
no,
with
So we have a
bro.
DJ right here. What do you want us to do?
No. To me, the worst of all is when it's like, oh, I know this is a restaurant and
But-
there's 200 other people other than me here, but
But-
I feel that it's cold. Can you
Can you
change the temperature so that I can feel better?
No, it's not all about
You know what? I said yes immediately.
Stop
Give me
with
1
you.
second. I'm gonna talk
Give
to
me
the
1
manager.
Yeah.
He's like in the back.
Right?
Right? Every good server is like a climate control expert. Like,
Absolutely.
on the low. Oh, I'm super cold. I got you. Don't worry about it. That's what do we all do?
said, yeah.
What do we all do?
I said,
We
I'm gonna
walk
go to the
around the
manager.
restaurant. We go, listen. We turned it down for you. It's good. And then you come back and check on them. If you're good, you go back and check another 20 minutes later. You go, are you comfortable now? And they'll always be like, yes. And be like,
Yeah,
so
you
much
see,
better.
and then nothing happened.
Like I didn't even
Get
do
out of here.
anything.
Worst case scenario, like if it's like do or die, what I'd like to do is go a step further. Someone says, "Oh, I'm a little cold." I go, "Okay." So I turn away. I walk away. I walk to one of my managers that I can see, and I tell my manager word for word. I go, "Listen, this table behind me thinks I'm talking to you because we're going to turn the air conditioner down, but nobody really cares. They should have dressed more appropriately." You know what I'm saying? Just letting
Absolutely.
you know. Just nod your head, and I walk away. And then they always go, "Oh, my managers never go." you know what? No, let's actually. No, they always just go, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, because you're not the only person there.
No.
You're not the only person there, you know? We deal with this shit all the time. All the time.
You know where I go? I go to the
I mean,
back
if it's
and
early,
get
you're the
I
only
get
ones
something
there.
to the-
It will
to the
happen.
guests,
Like if
pero-
that's different.
Yeah.
Like if you're
Yeah,
if you
no,
come in
it's
early,
very-
you're the
like
only
when
ones
they
there. The
get,
place
like
is
a
cold.
demanding, like a,
Don't make it happen.
Oh my God, this is so weird. Like, okay, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it happen.
Right, exactly. No, because not everything is black and white.
Correct.
If you want to sit down, if you have a restaurant, like if you have a policy where people have to be out by a certain time, which is very common,
Yeah.
and the restaurant's really busy, people need to respect that. But if the restaurant's empty, even at pre-shift, they'll be like, listen, we're slow tonight. Tonight's the time to get an extra drink on the table. Tonight's the time to get people multiple courses, that extra bottle of wine. It's fine. In that case, if you're a little cold, I'll do something. But if the restaurant's full,
No.
dude, it is what it is.
So this is something very modern that's going on, or very popular and trendy. The use of pronouns. Being a member of the community, do you think that is getting out of hand?
Ooh, I honestly, I could be on both sides of this.
Take another sip before you get into this. You're gonna need some high.
Take a good one. Take
Get
a good
ready
one.
for this one.
We got more.
I would say, I don't know. If I greet you, you know, some people say, hey guys, hey women, or however you greet the table. From that point, I'm just like, and if they say something to me, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes, like, I'm like, hey, this is getting out of hand. Just because, like, you identify as you, but this is also a transitional time where we're all trying to figure out they, them, he, she, her, or like, it's just so many things, so many factors. And you're trying to remember this on top of whatever else is going on in your
Like nobody
section.
passed out pamphlets.
Yeah.
Like this is how it works
Yeah.
now.
And also, I don't know you. I just met you. So, like,
Exactly.
you can't be mad at me for that. Like, if I know you, of course I'm going to address you correctly. But also, if I don't, like, let me know. I'll, like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll fix it. But, like, you can't, like, berate me for this or something like
it's
that.
a bit of a double standard because if you would assume that this person wants to be addressed as a he or she, and you do so out of the kindness of your heart or the respect that you're trying to show them, right? The hospitality, and then they'd be like, I did not told you to address me that way, right? And if you go and don't do that and then look at you and be like, well, that's not how I want to be addressed. It's like, listen, you're putting us in a situation that's like it's a lose situation.
Yeah.
You know, so if I may, right, jump in, the way that I personally like to approach talking to any table in particular, I always say less is more.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it when I go to any restaurant and they say, hey guys, hey folks, hey anything. Welcome. Less is more.
Yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to. That's it. You don't need to add the guys,
How are you
the
doing?
folks, the
Yeah.
dudes. Good evening. How's everyone today? My name is. Welcome to.
Yeah.
Less is more. Just take off that. And if the person then says something along the lines of, I would like to be addressed in a certain manner, then go about it your way. But just less is more, man.
Absolutely. I can agree with that because in the long run, that saves so much time, so much chaos if it could get chaotic or whatever. So it's kind of like a little protection bubble for you.
Yeah.
Do you say your name when you greet people?
No, I never say my name.
You say
Never.
your name, Will, when you greet people, when you greet tables?
I don't think. I mean, no personal.
I mean, I didn't before, but
I don't.
I have recently just because I don't know. People are just, I hate when people are like, hey, you, or
Right.
hey, like this. Or I recently, I would say months ago, I had somebody like this.
Oh
and
my
I was
God.
like,
So they do that. Don't even turn around. I
Yeah.
wouldn't know about
I
it.
don't do that.
but that's why it's annoying. That's why I'm like, call me
don't
by my
accept-
name.
I
Address
don't
me by
accept
my
that.
name.
One of the things I really hate.
Welcome to the other.
One of the things I really hate to work in this industry. No hate, but when they, you've been taking the order or whatever, and the guest turns around and say, "What is your name?" That's when it killed me.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they ask you for your name, so you know that you're gonna be bothered all night.
You think so? That's an
And it
indicator for
happens
you?
every time that somebody asks
High
for my name.
maintenance?
Yeah,
They're high maintenance?
I'm done. Yeah.
Listen, I'm all about personable dining experience. I always give guests my name.
Jesus.
You always give your
Chris.
guess.
Always,
like
baby.
it,
I
yeah.
start
I don't
my
give anybody
spiel
my
with my
name.
name.
So what
Unless
is
they
that?
ask.
Why you
Call it
speak?
ego, call it whatever. I make it personal. You know, I go to a person
Yeah.
and I make it
So
very
how you
nice and
say,
personal.
okay, good evening,
Yeah.
my name is...
No, I mean,
Adrian?
listen. I can give you my whole spiel. It's a whole lot personal book.
paragraph,
But
bro.
the point
You
is,
never give
I
your
drop
name.
my name
You're
out there,
very good.
baby.
By default, no.
You don't
I-
like your...
hey, and depending on the situation, I even drop handshakes and everything. It's amazing
Yeah.
because I go personal. That's my style of service. You know, I want to know that
I
when
know
you're
it's going
here,
personal,
I'm the one
papi,
that's taking
but when
care
the
of you.
people is like...
Listen, I
they don't
can't.
need to know my name.
Listen, I can't give them that personal dining experience that you give them. I mean,
Under the table.
and we can't give them that on the table or,
They call
or under
happy
the, you
ending,
know,
papi.
it's different. They call happy ending for a reason.
I don't like giving people my name.
I don't like
What,
giving
that.
what about you, Saul? What do you think about the whole pronoun thing?
Yeah, I mean, you know what you say. It's like I never have an issue with nobody about how I greet the guests or the people, but you know, we're in another era and another 2023. So I mean, I've been seeing in my restaurant that I work now, I see a lot of trans. And I just treat it the same. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't she or he. No,
Yeah.
less better.
Yeah.
But that's the way. So
I only care if you identify as a good tipper.
yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
Okay.
Dineros.
Do you feel that you are evaluated differently at work? Like, do you think that there's something that you might have gotten away with that others don't get away with because of their preference, or vice versa?
I think we treat the level the same one, even if it's
As it should.
family, and they should be like that. And I have gay managers, but we get treated the same one. I don't think it's. I mean, no, with me personally, I don't think any preference they have or something they do above or whatever. They have to be fair with everyone, which I think is correct.
Right. You ever have sex with a manager who's gay?
No,
It took him a second.
no, I was thinking, but no.
But you also have managed. And while you were a manager, you ever hook up with any coworkers?
Oh, that's a good one.
Actually, well, good question, but no, either no.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
No.
But that's where I wanted to take this. Dating coworkers.
Yeah.
Is that common?
It happened years ago, and it was when first it started this app called Grindr. I
girl,
remember.
here we go, girl.
There you go.
Like 20 years ago.
Grindr is not
And
a
it was
sponsor of
like
the show.
something. I was at work and I was with me. You know, I was there. So I see somebody online and I start to chat and and it was it was a coworker. It was
Oh,
a
my
coworker.
God.
And then we have a hookup, but that was one of the experiences I have.
Right. So for you is like hooking up with a coworker right
It's
now
okay.
is not okay?
I don't think it's a good idea.
It's not a good idea. No, that's not what I asked you.
Okay.
Because it's not a good idea across the board.
the thing is that
I think we can all agree.
We can all agree it's a
everyone
bad
could be,
idea.
no. Work is work, and my personal life is my personal life.
So where you work now,
yeah,
you've never hooked up with a coworker.
no.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
To that question, yes.
my God.
Look, I don't like. Honestly, I'm that person who is like, I don't like to shit where I eat.
I think we all feel it. Anybody who has a brain
Yeah.
and experience knows it's not a good idea to hook up with
It's
a coworker.
so bad. It creates so much drama. And then like, say y'all are beefing with each other, and then next you know, everybody knows your business in the restaurant. Everybody's gossiping, chismosas. You know, it's so crazy. But I mean,
And there's nowhere more gossipy than a restaurant.
no, absolutely.
There's nowhere more gossipy on the planet than a restaurant.
Yeah, something happens 3 minutes later, everybody knows.
People who
Even
are
people
off
off
know.
work. Yeah,
And if it's something bad, if it's something good, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the
Bad
good shit.
everybody knows.
Nobody knows the good shit.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I would say, as for me, I mean, now currently I have been hooking up with somebody, but
Oh my God.
I don't know. I'm trying to steer clear of it.
Yeah, yes. Good luck. Good luck with that one.
Sometimes you just can't help it.
It's like I said, man. I said, like, we work tough. We work in long hours. Sometimes it's hard to get out there and have energy to, like, date. Even if you're
Yes.
capable of it, if you're a social person and you're totally capable of going out and
Yes,
talking to people, meeting
it's
people.
even that if you finish work and you go out with your coworkers, at the end you're still talking about work. You know,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
How
you don't
hard
have
is it
any-
to stop talking
You don't
about
have
work?
anything,
It's
but
so
you're talking
hard.
about work.
It's
work,
hard.
work.
It's hard,
No.
especially
It's
with
not
work
easy.
people.
It's not easy to stop talking about work. So I
When-
mean, we're immersed in work way more than people know. I mean, but like physically being in the building where you work, you're there a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, yes, I get it. It's an uphill battle to not date coworkers or get involved with coworkers, but like I said, it's not a good idea.
Gentlemen, I want to leave it with one more question. What would you give as advice to someone of the community that's about to join the restaurant industry?
I would say come in, be yourself, and don't allow anybody to change you. There's like, I don't know, I feel like there were times where I had to conform, which was okay. Like I needed to, for a certain restaurant or whatever. But in the end of the day, like, don't sacrifice yourself. Because, I mean, the money could be good, but even though you're leaving with a pocket full of money, you're going home and you're like, you could be hating yourself. You could be like, just not feeling good about the day you just had because of something that has happened when it could have been easily avoided if you would have just been yourself or answered honestly to a question or anything in those lines. Just be yourself at the end of the day.
So you leave with a full pocket but empty everywhere else.
Absolutely.
Welcome to work. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. We everyone, we're the same. The only thing changed for us is from the, for the ways
It's
to
what
the
you like.
back. And that's it. At the end of the day, I'm a man like you're a man, like my friend is a man. So the only thing changed is my, my sexual orientation. But we're a man and we have to enjoy. They have to enjoy. It's not going to be any issue. Just be yourself. I think the most important, each one, and, be ready to be. It's hard to work in the restaurant business. It's really they think it's very easy, but I don't think it's easy at all.
It is not.
I don't think it's just going every day. I mean, I'm glad that I have a job, but just go to wait till the guests come, and then we have all these kinds of people that come to the restaurants, and there's like the people who doesn't work in restaurants doesn't see the thing we have to deal every single day in the restaurant. So enjoy and just welcome. I mean, the people come to work.
The great thing about restaurants is that they're great equalizers. So if you're sitting down and you're eating and enjoying your time and you're being a delightful person and you pay for your meal, sometimes you tip well, sometimes you don't. Nobody cares about anything else.
Yeah.
So if you, like I said at the beginning, if you can pay, if you're there to have a good time and you're there to follow the rules, you're welcome anywhere.
And like we're working at a restaurant, we just serving food and drinks, and we go to having fun with the people. So that's why we do it. So.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. And also, as a guest, I will say this, like, don't come in with an attitude or anything until maybe you need to have one or something where you're like, okay, something's not right in here.
Right.
But also don't come in with the stank attitude, stank face, because also y'all don't know what people have been going through. Like, you don't know what's happening outside of the work, what's happening inside of work. Like, it's just so many factors. And that's one thing that I really hate when tables come in with a nasty attitude. And I'm like, girl, I just met you and I haven't done nothing to you. That's all I got to say.
Perfect. What I would like to say is, to those that are joining the restaurant industry, know that you are doing this to take care of others. So yes, it's important that you know that don't jeopardize or sacrifice yourself, but know when to push and know when to pull. Because at the end of the day, you're here to take care of others and make your livelihood out of it. And as a guest, if you're going to a restaurant or any establishment and you have an issue with the person that's taking care of you, then guess what? The problem is you. And that's our show. Again, I want to say thank you to Will and Solomon for joining us today.
We want to say thank you to you guys.
Yes,
thank you
thank
very
you.
much, Edwin. Adrian, thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Also, let us know in the comments down below if you're a member of the community and what thing you would like us to address in the future. What is the big hurdle or challenge that you have facing in the industry? I'm sure that we'll touch up in the future. Also, Will here has his own podcast as well.
Yes. So my podcast is called, or actually our podcast is me and a few friends, but it's called Them Girls. It's them, GWORLS. It's like music, pop culture, headlines, but basically music in the gay community, straight community, reggaeton, everything. We talk about everything. But we are definitely doing a rebrand at the moment. However, we will be back soon. So definitely check us out.
We'll make sure to put that link in the description below. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
Don't forget the tip.
And we look forward to hosting you again Real soon.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.